What's going on, my friends? It's your boy Zach.
I'm Alex.
And this is JBC, back at you guys with another video. And for this video, we got another 3 things that we want to share with you guys.
Alright, so for the first category, let's see your favorite record store find.
So my favorite record store find is this original pressing of the 1983 album Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue. So what's cool about this album, notice the pentagram on the cover. This was the original cover that Motley Crue intended on releasing. Now, this cover sparked a lot of controversy. The band was accused of spreading satanic imagery and trying to get the word of the devil out to the listeners. And they were forced to, unfortunately, change the cover. When they changed the cover, they had pictures of all 4 members on the cover. Now, personally, I like this cover better, but it's got a cool story behind it, so maybe I'm a little biased. Now, I got this record from a record store called Amoeba Music in California. Alex and I were little guys when we went there, and this record store was the biggest record store I've ever been in, and probably the coolest record store I've ever been in. It was huge. They had all sorts of stuff. Records, used, new, you name it, cassettes, memorabilia, t-shirts. It was insane. And when I saw this, I had to get it. On this record, one of my favorite songs is God Bless the Children of the Beast, written by Mick Mars. It's an instrumental performed by him. Underrated guitarist, in my opinion. Very, very, very talented musician, and I still love that guy to this day. Another fun story about this album, the intro track, it's called In the Beginning. I practiced it and learned every word from it and said it 100,000 times and annoyed the crap out of Alex while learning it, so still remember it to this day. Sorry, Alex. Alex, what's your record store pick?
Alright, so my favorite find from a record store is Black Flag's Jealous Again. I actually got this record back when I was in high school. Zach, my dad, and I went to Rockford for the day, and we were looking for a record store to go to when we stumbled across Toad Hall. I still go there to this day. When we walked into the record store, I saw this record sitting behind the counter. I asked the record store clerk how much it was, and she said it was $30, but because it was 4th of July, she'd give it to me for $20. So I grabbed it immediately, and the cool thing about this record is it still has the order form for SST in there. I love the Raymond Pettibone artwork on the cover there, as you can see. My favorite track from this album has got to be Revenge. I think that Ron Reyes is a very underrated vocalist for Black Flag. So that is my favorite record store find that I have. Alright, so for our next category, I want to see your favorite concert memorabilia.
Alright, I got something pretty special here. So back in 2019, for my birthday, this man right here, Alex Jones, got me something very special. Alex got me tickets and a VIP experience to see Slipknot on the Knotfest Roadshow. We Are Not Your Kind had just dropped shortly before that show, and I was ecstatic to see those songs performed and to see my favorite band in the whole world play live. Now, this experience was incredible. We got to see a Knotfest museum where they had masks that the band wore, used instruments, stage-used shoes, drumsticks, you name it. Music awards that they had earned over the years. It was incredible. The thing that we got from this VIP experience was this very special piece of audio tape. Now, this piece of audio tape is from their recording of their 2001 album, Iowa, one of the heaviest records on this planet, and I stand by that. This was really cool. When we got these, we didn't even know we were going to get these. They said something in the notes about a special gift from Slipknot. So it's pretty cool to be able to have an actual piece of Slipknot history in my house and with me that I'll be able to cherish for the rest of my life. Another cool thing that I got from that show, I was able to catch Mick Thompson's guitar pick. Overall, 10 out of 10 experience, 12 out of 10. It was the greatest experience ever, and to this day, one of my favorite concerts that I was able to attend. Another notable thing about that show, played a song called Prosthetics. That's a song off their first album that they don't play live very often, so it was pretty cool to be able to see that song performed, in my opinion. So, yeah, an experience I'll never forget, and Alex, thanks for the birthday gift again all these years later.
Definitely. Great show.
So that was my piece of concert memorabilia. Alex, what was yours?
All right, so for my concert memorabilia that I'd like to share with you guys is this stage-used Glenn Danzig sweat towel that I got. I saw Danzig back in 2023 with my girlfriend in Chicago. It was the 35th anniversary for Danzig 1, so Danzig was performing Danzig 1 in full that night, along with some other songs from Danzig 2 and 3. When they came out for their encore, Glenn had the sweat towel around his neck and he threw it into the crowd. I saw it coming right at me, and I never jumped so high in my life to grab this towel. So I got this. His sweat's still probably on it, so hopefully I get to clone him someday. One notable thing about that night is they performed Blood and Tears. I had never gotten to see Danzig perform that before. So great show, great memory. Glad I have this. And as a little side thing, I also caught a guitar pick for the band Twin Temple that night, who opened up for Danzig. That is my concert memorabilia that I'd like to share with you guys. I also got this t-shirt that night. It is the Danzig Jesus classic t-shirt. He re-released this t-shirt for that tour specifically. So as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to grab it.
All right, we got one more collectible each that we would like to share with you guys. But real quick, leave a comment down below. You guys have some cool concert memorabilia that you'd like to share with us? Let us know down in the comments below. Share some concert stories with us. Share your favorite piece of artist merch. We'd love to hear what you got to say down there. Now, Alex, what is the last thing we want to share with these fine people today?
The last thing is I would like to see a signed item in your collection.
All right. So for my signed item, I got this autographed concert ticket. Now, this concert ticket isn't just any concert ticket. This was actually from a show that Alex and my band, Bury the Enemy, got to perform and open for the almighty Joey Jordison of Slipknot. It was his band, Vimic, and it was an experience we'll never forget. There was a lot of highs and lows with this experience. The first one being, originally, we weren't slotted to be able to open up for Joey's band, Vimic. A couple weeks later, the owner of the venue ended up contacting us, asking us if we were still available, and we jumped on that opportunity super fast. We weren't letting this one slip by us. Joey Jordison, if you already know me, you already know this, is my biggest hero in music and one of my biggest inspirations in life in general as well. And I didn't want to miss out on this opportunity. It was a show I'll never forget. And one thing specifically that I remember, before we performed, the road manager was kind of giving us the rundown of things that we needed to know, load-in times, how fast we need to be on stage, how fast we need to be off stage. And in that time, I had asked him, hey, are we going to be able to meet Joey tonight? Now, unfortunately, he said no. He said Joey wasn't really doing any signings, wasn't meeting anybody. I was a little heartbroken, but this experience in general was pretty cool, so I wasn't going to be too upset about it. And I told him, I'm like, hey, that's unfortunate because I got a tattoo on my arm that I would love to show Joey, and I kind of wanted to get it signed. Actually, I didn't kind of want to get it signed. I really wanted to get it signed. He saw that tattoo, and he's like, whoa, that is super cool. He snapped a photo of it, and he said, you guys wait right here. I'll be right back. 15 minutes goes by. He comes back. He's like, hey, Joey wants to meet you. Now, those words were the greatest words I've ever heard in my life. I couldn't believe it, because not only was I about to meet my hero wanted to meet me too. It was an insane experience. We performed super well. I had a lot of fun. Vimic ended up watching us. After the show, Kalen, the vocalist, complimented Alex on his vocals. I know that was a huge high for him in that moment. It was just a fun experience. So, after the show, we got to roadie a little bit. We got to load their trailer with some of their gear, wait around, and after that, we got on Joey's bus. Alex and I were on Joey's tour bus, talked around with a few of the people on there, and then here comes walking my hero, Joey Jordison. Biggest grin on his face, mouth wide open, arms wide open, and it was just an amazing experience. I got a huge hug from him. We got to talk a little bit, laughed a little bit. The marker cap was stuck in his hair. We all laughed about that as well. It was a really awesome experience and something I'll never be able to forget. Overall, a 10 out of 10 experience for me. On top of all of that, we also got to watch some sound check. Now, Joey sounds like a monster on the records, but seeing him in person, especially in the sound check, unmatched. It was incredible and an experience I'll never forget. Now, Alex, I think you got a pretty cool story to go along with your autograph too. Why don't you tell them what happened with you?
All right, so for my signed item, I would like to share with you guys, it is this signed Danzig set list from 2015. So back in 2015, I got to see Danzig live for the first time in Milwaukee at the Rave when I was just 18 years old. I went with Zach and my dad. It was around the time Danzig was releasing his Skeletons cover album, so I was able to hear a lot of songs off that record. The standout track from that was his cover of NIB, which I actually preferred the live version over the record version. They killed that live. Another standout track they played that night was Black Mass. That is one of my favorite Danzig songs. So at the end of the show, when they were throwing things to the crowd, I watched Steve Zing walk up to the front of the stage, and he was scanning the crowd to see who he was going to give that set list to. I remember locking eyes with him and him reaching his hand out to hand it to me. So when he was reaching to hand the set list to me, this big bald guy that was next to me tried to grab it from him. And I'll never forget, Steve took the set list, smacked his hand with it, and then reached out further so that way my short arms could grab it. So that was awesome. He signed it for me, as well as Johnny Kelly, who was famous from Typo Negative, was drumming for Danzig at that time. After that show, I met Tommy Victor and got him to sign it for me too. After we were exiting the venue, we saw a group of people that were converging around Danzig's tour bus, so we joined in. I met some cool people. At the time, I didn't own any Sam Hain vinyl, and there was a guy there that had a stack of Sam Hain records that he let me look through. Steve Zing ended up coming back out, so right there, as you can see, there's me, 18 years old, with Steve Zing. He was super nice. He had just gotten his wallet stolen out of the back room while he was playing, and he still took time to sit and talk with all of us. One of my favorite people I've ever met. I actually am Facebook friends with him to this day, and he wishes me a happy birthday every year. After a little while, the Danzig security guard came out and was collecting things from us to get signed by Glenn. So I handed the security guard that set list, and he brought it to Glenn and then gave it back to me. So that was my cool signed item that I would like to share with you guys today.
Now, that show was pretty memorable for me too. As Alex mentioned, him, myself, and our dad ended up going to this show. Now, this crowd was ridiculous. It was probably one of the craziest crowds I've ever been in. And Alex and I have been to a lot of metal shows, and I had never seen anything quite like that. About 3 songs in, I ended up leaving the crowd because it was too much for me. I know, I get it, I'm old. I ended up sitting in a puddle of water, just having a miserable night, but nonetheless got to enjoy the show. Now, after the show, the 3 of us ended up reconvening. I, not looking the happiest in the world, Alex on cloud 9, and our dad just had scratch marks and blood just dripping over his face. Alex looks at both of us, he's like, "What the hell happened to you guys?" I shared my story, and Alex, what happened to Dad at that show?
Our dad got into a verbal altercation with a woman that was also there, and as he would like to put it, that bitch tried to rip his lips off.
He looked terrible.
So, memorable show for 2 different reasons.
Alright, my friends, that about does it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on any more content. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And JBC is out. See yous.
In the beginning, good always overpowered the evils of all men's sins. Within time, our nations grew weak as our cities fell to slums while evil stood strong. In the dusks of hell lurked the blackest of hates, for he, the real fear, awaits you. Now, many, many lifetimes later, lay destroyed, beaten down, only the corpses of rebels, ashes of dreams in blood-stained streets. It has been written that those who have the youth have the future. So come now, children of the beast, be strong and shout at the devil.